Hello, Buckaroo Banzai?
You a messenger? What you got here?
No, wait a minute. I need to see Buckaroo Banzai in person. My name is John Parker. Identify yourself, nah?
Blue Blazer regular, Pinky Carruthers. Sorry, John, everybody needs see Buckaroo. Later.
Welcome, cadets, to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. This is episode 137. We're going to talk about Horror of Dracula, sometimes known as just Dracula. It was 1958. First time Christopher Lee ever played the icky vampire. First time that Peter Cushing played Van Helsing. And we've got a great show for you. We hope you're going to enjoy it. We also have a very special guest back with us, as we always hope when we do vampire movies, is Dr. Barbie Van Helsing. So we're going to bring her up as well as my able-bodied assistants, Major Hazzard and Master Sergeant Havoc. There's Havoc.
Howdy.
Okay. Got a little spinach in there, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you again. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, it is very good to be seeing you again. Although I wanted to say that it should say Dr. Barbie Van Helsing.
That's right.
That's right. Yes, don't forget.
I said Dr. Barbie Van Helsing when I introduced you, didn't I?
Yes, but I see on the screen it just says my name and not doctor.
Okay, Hazzard can change that.
Yes.
We definitely want to give you credit.
Oh, of course. And I have just received my second doctorate degree from the University of Phoenix online program.
Very good.
In gender and bloodlust in 14th century feminist agrarian economies. So I am feeling, like I know a lot about this particular subject.
Well, very good. Can I call you Dr. Barbie? I feel we've known each other for a while. We worked together.
Oh, you can certainly call me Dr. Barbie.
Dr. Barbie,
yes.
Thank you for that. And you remember Havoc from last time.
Of course. Nice to see you.
We did Fright Night, and unfortunately, you were on assignment. You missed Dracula's dog.
I know. I was sad to miss this. I love dogs.
I don't think you would have liked this pooch.
I love all dogs.
Very, very dangerous, very deadly. So what have you been up to lately? Please tell us.
Well, I have just, told you that I have finished my second doctorate degree. Mm-hmm. I have finished up several love affairs. I have actually, this is very interesting, dating a man who looks very much like the Dracula, Christopher Lee in this film. And he really was committed to the how you call cosplay, and I have a few. I don't know. I was checking to see if maybe something was happening to me, but I feel like maybe I have gotten away.
Went to a convention, did you, and lost track of time and.
Lost track of time. Too many frozen margaritas.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Did at any time did he say, "I don't drink frozen margaritas"?
He did. He said this several times, and I laughed like that every single time.
You got to watch out for them hickeys, though. Them is bad.
Strong hickeys.
Yeah.
Oh, it broke his skin. I don't know. It's a little much, and I felt so faint the next day, but then I was okay. I had like a V8 juice and I was fine.
Now, do you only see him at night?
I don't know. I think I only do see him at night. I had not thought of that.
Well,
You would think a vampire hunter of my caliber would pay attention to something like that, but he was quite attractive.
yep.
What is it about the bad boy vampire thing that just? This movie in particular. Yeah, the girls are just serving themselves up to him.
Definitely, and we see why. Then in the first few moments when he's on screen, and I'll point it out when he jumps over the table. Woo!
Jumps over the table.
Yes.
All right. So this is a Hammer film production. This is really kind of the one that started it all for Hammer films becoming kind of known for their horror films, because they did Curse of Frankenstein right after this one, and that just kind of opened the floodgates. And it's not the first vampire to show the fangs, but they certainly make good use of it in this.
But they did this after Frankenstein, yeah? This was the one after.
Was this after?
Yeah, this was after. Frankenstein was like their big... They did something else before when they went into horror. And then they did Frankenstein. It was such a big hit.
Oh, I
Peter
thought this one was
Cushing
first.
and Christopher Lee became best friends. And they're like, let's make more movies together. And they made this, and then, the rest is history.
Well, they actually did Hound of the Baskervilles, too, together.
That's right.
With Peter Cushing playing Sherlock Holmes and Christopher Lee playing Sir Henry Baskerville. And again, that just kind of opened what would become Hammer films later on. All right, so Horror of Dracula, sometimes known just as Dracula. There you go.
This is very realistic blood.
Yeah.
I was thinking, they need to fire their contractor because they just spilled paint all over the place.
I know.
There you go.
You can't find good people.
No.
Good
I
carrots.
wanted to say, though, you're not showing it. But you remember at the very beginning, they have it looks, the music that's playing, and it looks like a Nazi eagle. You see this?
Yeah.
I
did notice that,
I was
actually.
like, interesting, very interesting.
I wonder if that was subliminal kind of thing. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, it does kind of look Nazi-ish. So we got Jonathan Harker here, played by John Van Helsing, coming up on Castle Dracula. The coachman won't let him out next to the door. These coachmen, they those unions. So as he's going in, he knows it's a little door that goes kind of like down to the cellar. He takes note of that. I don't know why, but there it is. He takes note of that. He goes on inside. Note on the door: let yourself in. You've got carte blanche to the fridge.
And very, very yummy victuals on the table.
There you go.
Yeah.
This set here is kind of interesting because it's kind of a minimal set, but it looks grandiose. And, again, Hammer films, they were on a budget. But the sets look very impressive. They look very antiquated. And there's the note. Make yourself at home. I got dinner for you on the table here.
Very nice handwriting.
I wonder if Christopher Lee did that. I wonder if that's actually his handwriting. Hey, we need to know, Chris, can you come over here? So a woman shows up out of nowhere, and she's very friendly, like a cat, rubbing up against you, friendly. And then she runs away, and he looks up to the upper level there, and Dracula's there.
Yeah. Well, she's pleading for him to help her, and then she runs off. I guess, they spent all the money on the set. They couldn't afford 2 more brides.
That's true. In all the other Dracula films, there's 3, isn't there?
Yeah.
But this one is like, yeah, help me get away, please. He's terrible.
Maybe she's just lonely. Yeah.
Company at last. Oh, look at that face.
Oh,
as they continue to make these films, they just kept making them. They just kept cranking them out. Lee was like, I don't want any dialogue. Please, just take out the dialogue. Dracula doesn't have to talk.
Yeah.
I
He
also
didn't like the dialogue in these. In the
I
early
also
one.
read that he did not look at any other depictions of Dracula. He read the Bram Stoker novel, and that's what he went off of. And so this is, I think that's interesting because this is his like really fresh take on something,
You know,
on a role.
I never noticed that he. You know, I've seen this training film a few times. I never noticed the unibrow.
Oh,
Look at that.
the man, he makes the unibrow sexy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
makes the unibrow sexy.
That's kind of unibrowish to me. Yeah. I guess that was part of the makeup for the vampire thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something here, and you totally kiboshed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on your line there.
Did it.
Anyway,
Yes.
maybe it'll come to me later. But yeah, they're being all nice and everything. Now, this is actually the first film, I think, to get it right. It's Jonathan Harker that goes to Dracula's house, not Renfield. And Renfield in all later films, Renfield, and in Dracula 1931, it's Renfield that goes to the house. He's like a guy who's I don't know, a realtor.
Yeah. Well, he's a
And he's
solicitor.
talking about property in London.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, in the book, it is Jonathan Harker who goes visits Dracula first. Then
Right.
they changed it for the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So this one actually gets it right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to point out that he is I guess a librarian. He's going to take care of books or something.
Yeah.
Which I
He's a
was like,
librarian in this
excellent.
one. Yeah.
You're
That's
correct.
right.
Now, haven't read the book in a long time. Is that the way it was in the book?
No, he's like a lawyer's assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, the lawyer
All right.
sends him to sign all these documents and transfer deeds and all that stuff for Carfax.
Okay. So yeah, it is the realty thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So well, at least I got the guy right. Now
Yeah.
Renfield is just a crazy guy in the asylum, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. So
Which they left
but
Renfield
again,
out of this
Dwight
one.
Fry, as Renfield. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
forget that.
Yeah. I'm surprised they left Renfield out of this version, but
Yeah. Yep. But we get Michael Goff. So a lot of
And
Alfred
you-
jokes coming up.
yep. Yeah. What would have made this here training film better if they'd had a cowboy in it.
No.
I am willing
This is
to
where we
accept
differ.
the cowboy.
This is where we differ on this. I don't like cowboys and Dracula. It's like cowboys and aliens. I just didn't get into that either for some reason. I just didn't go.
And now
anyway,
I
it's got
can't
a
help
nice
but
little room
picture
here.
it. Yes.
I'm sorry.
I said I can't help but picture it now. Thank you, Sergeant Havoc.
Where we're talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola on another film. And there's a cowboy in that. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's not bad enough that Keanu Reeves seems like out of place here, but they threw a cowboy in.
But there's a cowboy in the book. But anyway.
And that's what you said. So, but again, it kind of throws me off a little bit. So anyway,
Yeah.
he has a nice little room here, all set up, and then he locks him in. Duh! That's kind of weird. Oh no, I'm sorry. He shows the picture of his beloved Mina.
No, Lucy.
Lucy
Lucy Homewood.
Yeah,
they changed
Lucy.
that around.
Lucy Homewood. There it is. Mina's the wife of Lucy's the sister of Goff, Mr. Homewood, and Arthur, and Mina is his wife. Anyway, okay, got it.
Yep.
Sorry, I have my notes right here in front of me. And Goethe is the house lady who should be fired. But we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so he locks him in. That's kind of weird. Like, oh, no, he locked me in. Huh. Well, I guess I'll write in a letter to Lucy. Played by Carol Marsh.
Stating his intentions clearly. Yes.
Yes. So he actually got he kind of narrates and yeah, he does kind of do that actually.
Well, it's his diary. He's writing in his diary.
Correct, which is what the book is all about. The book is diary stuff. All right, so eventually the door opens, and he goes out, looks around, And that's when he meets up with
The Lonely
vampire
Bride.
lady.
The Lonely Bride.
And yeah, the Lone Bride. So we did say Hammer was on a budget at this time. So
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, take me away from here. He's terrible. He's horrible. He throws me around.
But
Okay, let me kiss you.
can you hug me? I need
Let
a
me
hug.
kiss you.
Can I have a hug, please?
You hussy. So yeah, he's like, well, Lucy's way back in London. Okay. And she tries to put the bite on him.
What happens
You
in
deserve
Transylvania?
it.
What happens in Transylvania stays in Transylvania.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. And then Dracula shows up again. It's like, oh, the worst damn times.
This is when he jumps over the table. And
Yes.
I was looking at this going,
With bloody fangs.
oh, yes, more of that, please.
See, I don't get it, but again, I'm not a girl, but evidently that's sexy.
It is not unsexy.
Mr. Bloody Powerful.
He looks really scary here. I can imagine
Yes.
back when this came out, he was, the audiences were really terrified because he looks really scary.
They did use drops to make his eyes look bloody in this scene, and they don't use it a lot in the film. They use it a couple of times, but not a lot. They won't want to overdo it, I guess. But in later films, like Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, oh my God, they just use it all the time. And I don't think Lee liked it either. I think it was, I think it was uncomfortable. He didn't like it, but they did it a lot for that. That's the director's decision, I guess. So yeah, he jumps over the table. He throws her across the room. He's just slinging her about. Jonathan is like, wait a minute now. Come on now, be nice to her. And yeah, there's a jealous husband and a dissatisfied wife right there.
Yeah. Well,
I told you to stay away from the help.
And it makes you wonder too, though. Did he really bring Jonathan Harker there to help organize his library, and this was going to mess everything up, right?
Well, I do know that he didn't like the fact that Jonathan Harker tried to step in because he throws him across the room like a little girl. I was just trying to help him. So very powerful vampire. Yeah, this is not what you want to see when you're from your employer.
Particularly not in the first 24 hours.
I'm sorry. Did I upset you? Very sorry. I'm sorry.
I said alphabetical order.
I said Dewey Decimal System.
Dewey Decimal System, damn it.
Oh, yes, this is where he collapses.
So yeah, he throws him on the floor.
So dramatic.
Step
Look
in
at
again.
this.
Sorry. And carts the lady out of the room. And again, I guess that's kind of sexually attractive in some way, caveman kind of stuff. I'm taking you out of the other room, taking you down to your coffin. So daylight approaches, and he wakes up in his room. Woo, that was a nasty nightmare.
Because he's got to go to work, Right? He's going to work now. He needs to go to the library and organize the books.
I believe in Nosferatu, the original film, that he wakes up in a chair like that, and he checks his neck right away, and he sees that there's bites in his neck, and this happens too. He does it here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Suddenly he's caught me. I'm sorry. Uh-oh, what have I done? I've dropped me guard. He's never going to believe I'm a librarian. Sorry.
And still better than Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah! Wow, Bill and Ted and vampires. We're gonna have some fun when we do that one. Eventually, we'll get to that one.
Mm.
Wow, it's Dracula, dude. All right, so Jonathan decides to poke around, and he goes down that little basement closet door thing, and that's where he finds Dracula sleeping.
No problem finding him. No problem at all.
Uh-oh.
Just right there. Doesn't even have a lid on the coffin.
Yeah, no lids on the coffins. They're just like camping out.
Now this got to be the stupidest decision. He kills the girl first when he could have killed Dracula like right then and there.
Yeah,
but no, he's like, now I'm gonna go after the girl first. Like, what?
I know. What's the deal?
He's thinking with the wrong head.
Right, you kill the main vampire.
Thinking with the wrong
and all
stake.
the other vampires die, and no, he has not heard
This
this.
bitch bit my neck. I'm getting her first.
Maybe this is what he thinks.
So yeah, and what he doesn't realize too is he went down at 6 o'clock. Sun's going down. He went down at 7 o'clock. Sun's going down, and yeah, he stakes her, and I do mean with a wooden stake. And Dracula wakes up. Did he just kill my wife? And she didn't take it well. She ages very quickly. Plastic surgery doesn't. Oh God, that would have been a funny joke if I'd have done it right. Anyway, we'll move on. There was a plastic surgery joke in there somewhere.
And this is the other thing that don't make sense. Okay, he's in the coffin. He sees Harker. He leaves the room just to come back, be all dramatic at the top of the stairs. Like, what?
He's like, wait a minute, he's not there. Oh, he's in the doorway.
Maybe he had to go brush his teeth. When you
there
first
you go.
wake up, you got to brush your teeth.
Floss a little bit before, before meals.
Exactly, yes. And he breaks, he breaks the floss constantly on his sharp.
I just want him running out. You're not getting away now. You just killed my wife. So, all right. So we know what happens. Harker's done for, basically. He's
and doesn't he hide?
Not once,
something?
But twice.
He hides something. Yeah, he hides. Is it the diary? What does he hide behind the?
Yeah, he hides the diary at the crossroads.
He hides the diary behind the Virgin Mary statue. It doesn't seem to bother Dracula too much.
They'll never look there.
And now we come to the world's most unfriendly cafe.
Yeah, this one's in just about every Hammer vampire movie, and they're all like, "You need to leave. We don't want you here." Everybody else speaks very good British, but we are German. I don't know why. Welcome to Romania.
We hope you like garlic.
It's in everything.
We all smell like garlic for a reason. Okay,
including
leave.
the
Get out of here. Just get on the road and go back home. So Van Helsing is there. He shows up. I love the way Van Helsing dresses in this movie. He's got the furry collars and the Homburg hat, and he just looks very, very dignified, very studly. So Peter Cushing, you can't get a better Van Helsing than that. I'm sorry, I don't think anybody stopped him. He's my favorite Sherlock too. So anyway, I digress.
And I did not realize that he played Mr. Darcy in a 1952 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice for the BBC. Oh, wow. He was like the original Darcy. Hot stuff.
He's done a lot of incredible stuff. He's in Robin Hood. I think is he Prince John? Is he King John? Sure. He's in one of the Robin Hood movies, the earlier ones. Anyway. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. He's Grand Moff Tarkin, for crying out loud.
And, yeah, I was going to say Star Wars. Yep.
You may fire when ready. You may stake him when ready. So yeah, he basically set the bar. I mean, don't get me wrong. Edward Van Sloan, really good Van Helsing, but Peter Cushing really set the bar. I'm sorry, he did. So, and a really nasty Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. He took that to a whole different level there. So he goes to the castle. They because the wife of the innkeeper there slips him the diary. I don't know how she got it, but she slips him the diary, and she says, "We found this at Castle Dracula. Go, you need to go there." So he goes, and again, that door next to the front door really stands out. He goes into the house and looks around, and nobody's around, and it's daytime. So he goes down and finds Jonathan Harker's body in the basement. Now, surprisingly, Dracula's not there. He sees the old lady, with the, steak sticking out of her chest.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
I see he did one.
Well, there was that part there we kind of missed it. There's a coach that leaves the house with a coffin in it.
Oh,
And
okay.
He figures out. Yeah.
Oh, I just missed him.
Like, oh.
So, yeah. So yeah, she's there, leaving the old dead wife behind. And Harker's there, and he's a vampire. He's got teeth sticking all the way down. He looks like a walrus. I am the walrus. Goo-goo-joob. Stake me.
And also, apparently, he has to wear this outfit for all time. I feel sorry for him.
There you go. I'm going to wear this outfit for eternity. Unfortunately, I was a librarian. Now I'm a vampire.
I still have books, though. You do what?
He does the right thing.
I bet you he gets right back up and goes to work and begins.
As a vampire, he can work all night long on that library.
Yes, actually. Yes.
Maybe it's all
double the speed. Yes, double the speed.
Don't be expecting to pay you, but get in there and fix that library.
I'll pay you in virgins.
Okay, so we come to the Homewood house, where Arthur and Mina are meeting with Van Helsing, and he tells them the bad news about Jonathan. And now, if you don't recognize Alfred from Batman, there he is as a young man.
Yes.
And very snippety, I might add. What the hell do you mean by coming here and telling us this bad news? He's rather snippy up until he sees his first vampire. But that's what Michael Goff did back in those days. He played really good assholes. He did. He was really good at being snippy and uppity and So anyway, his sister is Lucy, who was Jonathan's fiance. And she's become sick all of a sudden. And of course, Van Helsing suspects that it might be the vampire thing. And sure enough, when everybody else is out of the room, her little pigtail ass goes right to the window and opens it up, and she's waiting for him to come.
The course of true love did never run smooth.
Mm.
Yes.
So, and we see the bites on her neck already, so we know. Dracula did fancy her after all when he looked at that picture. So, Van Helsing goes home and starts doing a little of his research and recordings. He does a recording of vampirism, and this shows us that he really knows his stuff. And Dracula shows up. It's party time. Booty call. So, and she's very excited about him being there.
As would
most
we
of these women
all be that way. Yes.
They're entranced by him.
No, it's not hard to see why.
She
Even
got the
though he is
vampire
ice
vapors.
Even though he is ice cold, I am red hot.
That was a very awkward switch. Hazzard. Nothing to say to that. Nothing at all. All right, so he's baring his fangs. She's all excited about it, and yeah, next day the doctor's coming out of her room going, yeah, but she's getting worse. Don't know why. And all of a sudden I'm Cockney too. It's a terrible sickness that's going around. It's making us all go Cockney. And then we meet the only actress that's probably still alive from this movie, Tanya, played by Janina Fey. She was also in Day of the Triffids, which is a couple of years after this. And she has been seeing Lucy walking around outside. And Lucy's, I think Lucy's dead already. I think we lost her.
No, she ain't
Maybe
dead
not.
yet.
Okay, she's not dead. I'm not dead yet. I got better. I got a transfusion.
I feel happy.
Anyway, we're starting to see Tanya, because again, she's gonna turn dime on Lucy later when she's a vampire. I guess we're just establishing the character now. So Mina goes to Van Helsing because she's worried about Lucy, and she wants him to check her out.
There's it's kind of a funny moment when they're talking about Lucy and everything. They keep calling him Helsing. They don't say Van Helsing. They say Dr. Helsing.
Dr. Helsing.
Wait a minute. Is Van his first name?
It's not Abraham. It's just Van. Van Helsing.
Yeah. What was the name of the?
But every other time later on, everybody calls him Van Helsing. But that time it's just Helsing. I thought, oh, that's weird.
Well, okay then. I'm just a Helsing to you. Damn you, woman. Am I only a Helsing to you?
I used to be a man.
And Dr. Barbie Van Helsing.
This is right, yes. You can go by either one. Van Helsing or Helsing.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, he's smacking her around in the bed. No, I'm kidding. He puts her face over and sees that she's been bitten, so he knows. So he says, "You got to put garlic in the room, all over the room. I know it's gonna irritate her, but whatever you do, don't take the garlic away from the room, and keep an eye on her." So they're like, "Okay, that's weird."
I feel like this solution may not be complete. I feel like maybe something else besides fruit and vegetables. Yeah.
Well, the minute he says vampire, they're all going to go, okay, all right. So he can't say that. But so that's what they do. They put garlic in the room. And of course, she's freaking out. She doesn't want it because she's, she wants him to come and bite her again. So she tells Gerda, played by Olga Dickey, Gerda, please take us away. I hate this garlic. It's terrible. I hate it. Oh, okay.
And make you a nice sauce. You love the sauce.
I'm going to make sure you get a raise. I think it's in Dracula Dead and Loving It, where he's trying to hypnotize, I think it's Lucy, from afar, and he accidentally, like Gerda the maid, whoever the maid is, he ends up hypnotizing her by mistake. It's very funny. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, she's dead now. It's like a smash cut edit. They go from Gerda taking the stuff away to boom, she's dead in the bed, and they're just about to pull the blanket over her head. I told you.
It was the garlic.
Now, this is the time when Gerda should be let go. All right, she caused the death, of Lucy, and she admits it. She fully admits it. But they're actually very nice. They let Gerda stay on.
Who's going to do the work? It's so hard to hire.
There she is.
New people. Yeah.
And you would think Michael Goff would jump on that. What do you mean you took it out? What's wrong with you, Gerda? You're fired. But he doesn't. So they've lost Lucy. And Van Helsing, again, doesn't want to just yell, okay, it was a vampire. He's writing a fine line there. So he goes. And that's when Tanya says that she saw Lucy. Some time goes by, and she said she saw Lucy and it scared her. Lucy scared her, and Michael Gough's like, that's peculiar. My sister's dead. That's the look on his face. Look at that. My sister's dead. That's peculiar. So come on. Well, that can't be, darling.
He still looks quite skeptical.
I'm paraphrasing, but so they tell Van Helsing, or I think she tells Van Helsing, and Van Helsing decides to stake out the crypt, him and Arthur, because he wants to show Arthur that what's happening here, and they use the little girl Tanya as bait, which is kind of cruel, but
they did not have the child labor laws that they have now. The child that you attempt the evil thing with must be
Hammer
over the age of 16.
Neither did Hammerfilms. She got day rate. So Lucy, is all fangs and smiles. She's very creepy looking. Oh, Arthur, my brother, let me kiss you. Wait a minute, you're my sister.
You're supposed to be dead.
What the hell?
You're not a Skywalker.
You're supposed to be dead. You turn into a bat? I hate bats. Wait a minute. Sorry, I had to do that.
I like how
Alfred joke.
You still don't see the expression on his face that he gets it. I think this is like.
He still hasn't gotten it yet. No.
Yeah.
He's seeing her right in front of him with fangs. Damn it. I'm trying to connect my cable so my phone doesn't die. Okay. So there she goes after him again. And that's when Van Helsing finally steps in with his cross. And he burns her head with the cross. I think this is the first time they did that in a movie, a vampire movie. It's been used again ad nauseum since then, but yeah.
Oh yeah. That's not going to buff out.
And by the way, that's Carol Marsh who's playing Lucy, and she did a lot of movies after this. Now, let me give you my coat so you're nice and warm since we used you as bait. But we have to go stake Lucy now, okay? So you just stay right here.
Oh, come along.
I love the fact that he takes time to take care of little Tanya before they go in and stake Lucy. So there you go. Nice furry collar. Enjoy the coat.
You'll be fine.
So, obviously, Arthur can't do it. He can't stake his sister. Yeah. So, Van Helsing decides, okay, I'll do it, but I want you to take a look after. All right? So he stakes her. Yeah, it's very noisy, very, very messy. I just had to have another shot of that. She does not react well. Now, as she is a recently made vampire, yeah, she looks like Lucy after the stake. Evidently, the other vampire girl, she's had some time and she spent a lot of time as a vampire. So he shows Arthur, see how peaceful she looks. Look, the scar is already gone from her forehead. All right, but she's dead.
Really dead this time.
So now he's on board. Arthur's not going to be snippety anymore because he understands that vampires are real, and he's doing a little reading up on Van Helsing's notes. And so I can't remember the progression here. Where evidently Dracula is making a move on Mina, and there's Gerda again. Oh, by the way, there's someone here to see you.
He seems nice.
It's actually a little Cockney boy. Oh yeah, Governor said you want you to meet him down by the mortuary.
See, now you can do your Cockney. Now
you do the Cockney accent and not be ashamed of it. There he is. All right. Gonna be doing all of it next week. That's a lovely brooch you got there. So, all right.
The name's Dodger.
They're talking to somebody about vampires.
They're trying to find out about where the coach went, and he's all like, "I can't tell you that."
Trying to find Dracula. That's it.
Yeah,
trying to find Dracula.
And
because they got to put
like,
into Dracula.
giving him money.
Yes, that's the one good thing Arthur does in this film. He knows how to grease a palm.
Very important.
Oh, you want to talk to us? Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. Oh, well, I got to put right here. So yeah, Undertaker, Mortician. What a great place to hide a coffin, you know. And Mina goes to see Dracula. I can't remember what story the Cockney kid gives to her, but she goes to see Dracula, and of course
he tells her that it's Homewood that asked to meet her there. Do you know an author Homewood? Says he wants you to meet her there at the Frederickstrasse. Like, oh.
He's going to hide in a coffin.
It's a surprise party.
Seems legit.
At the mortuary. I love the fact that he's got a nice, white coffin.
And a lid this time.
He's a knight in a shining white coffin, he is. And of course, you get the hand pushing the lid across, and that's it. Mina becomes incensed. She's his next victim. So she comes home and she's all happy. Look at her, she's glowing. I just got bit by a vampire.
It's fantastic.
I'm not going to tell you though. So you can see on Peter Cushing's face, he's like, wait a minute. I know that look.
When I was reading about it, this is the first film that it really sexualized, right? Like the women look like they really had a good night with Dracula, as opposed to it's some kind of horrible thing that's happened to them.
This actually kind of started that thing, I think, with the it being sensual and sexual, and but at the time in England, films were X-rated for violence. These films were X-rated not because of all the sexual innuendo and stuff in them, but the violence. You can actually do nudity in these films and stuff and not get the X rating, but the violence, the blood that they did in these things got them an X rating. Which is kind of ironic. Because they did some pretty raw vampire movies later down the line, like the Twins of Evil and the Vampire Lovers. And so they go to the mortuary. And Miles Malson, a great character actor from the Hammer films, plays the mortuary guy. And he's like, oh, yeah, white coffin, yeah, over here. And it's not here anymore. Look at that. So Dracula's still one step ahead of him. And Mina's not going to tell him.
Like, I'll never tell.
She's having fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember what's going on here, but Mina faints. They say something about Dracula or something. She faints.
No, Homewood gives her a crucifix. It's like, here.
Oh,
please, darling, take this. And she gets it.
Wear this around your neck. That's right.
But I'm Jewish. What do you mean? Oh.
So it burns her hand. Well, it just leaves a black mark on her hand. Really, doesn't really burn it. Doesn't sizzle or anything like it did with his sister. But there's a black mark there. Wait a minute. Well, you see, she's only half vampire. She's not quite there yet. So
Please
she's not burning
explain.
yet. You should see what holy water does to it. It's very nasty. So now they realize that she's a target, that she's Dracula's next target, next victim. And they're going to use her as bait. So they stake out the house. And they say, well, we got to see him when he comes in. You know. So they're outside waiting, not realizing Dracula's already moved down into the basement.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Gerda, Gerda, what's going on? Oh, well, this lovely gentleman decided he wanted to run our basement. So I thought that would be right. That would be fine. Gerda!
Nice foreign gentleman hanging out.
Oh, he's lovely. Where's a cape?
Be paid ahead of time.
We talked about this before. I can't understand why vampires wear capes because they don't get cold. That doesn't make any sense to me. Vampires don't get cold. They're dead. Why are they always wearing capes?
It's purely fashion choice. Purely. Don't you think?
So, yeah, there we go. Cue vampire seduction music.
Woo! Look at her face. She knows.
Hey, baby. I've been waiting for you. So, yeah, they all just give it right up to Dracula. So, they find her lying across her bed, and they're like, "Hey, wait a minute! How did it get in? We were outside." So it's transfusion time. They give her a little transfusion. Hopefully, they're both the same blood type. Yeah, back in that day, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they got lucky. Oh God, Gerda's there. I just want to smack her. Oh, that must have been the gentleman that said, "Can I put my coffin down in your basement for a couple of days?" Gerda!
Seems legit.
It was a nice white coffin. You look so nice. So, he goes down into the basement. Van Helsing figures it out. He puts a cross in the coffin to keep him away from there. And he's already taken off with Mina. So there's only one place he can go. Back to Castle Dracula. That's where he's got a coffin already set up. So we gotta go there. So they decide to go after him in another carriage, Castle Dracula. They leave Gerda behind.
They should have brought Gerda. I'm sure she could have
Pack your bags, woman. I don't want you here when we come back. Can't trust you with anything. So we got some shit going on here with a crossing guard to Transylvania, the Carpathians or something. They go right through the gate. We've got nothing to declare. See ya. Oh, my
Can't
gate.
stop.
My gate. We'll pay for it when we get back.
Here's my credit card.
Now, if any of you women have any doubt about how Dracula really feels about you, okay, this next scene, he throws Mina in a hole and starts to cover her up with dirt. Okay? Takes him to the face. Come on, that's it, bitch. He's just nasty. Just nasty, that man. Evil.
He is. He's still sexy, but go on.
He's such a bad boy. Such a bad boy. So they hustle their carriage to Castle Dracula, and they get there right as he's shoveling dirt in Mina's face. So he realizes, oh, shit, it's the guy that can kill me. He runs into the house. Now he's got a trap door to another place, but luckily, Van Helsing's pretty fast on his feet, and he gets there to see him pulling the handle on the trap door. So it's like, okay, gotta kill you now. You know too much. So he strangles him, and Van Helsing, black tongue and everything. He's sticking his tongue out and everything. So it looks like he's going to go down to bite. And I'll turn him into a servant. There we go. But he kicks him off. But again, he's a vampire. He's very strong. So luckily, I guess it took all night for them to take the carriage ride back to Castle Dracula because it's dawn now. And Van Helsing sees the dawn coming through the curtain behind Dracula. That's the look of Grand Moff Tarkin.
I've got an idea.
Looking at the curtain.
Idea.
You said it was Alderaan, right? Sorry, I have to do a couple of those. Just like the Batman stuff for Michael Goff. Anyway, so he runs across the table. I bet back in the day, kids were talking about this scene for months. And he jumps on the curtain and takes it off like a cat. Takes the curtain right off the rail like a cat. And Dracula, reacts to the sunbeams. My foot. Now, what's amazing is the how dusty his Italian shoes are.
It's a crime.
Damn.
Crime against humanity. Yes.
Well,
Nice
sleeping in a
footwear like
coffin, you sleep in a coffin with your dirt in it, with your native soil. I guess it gets a little dirty.
Also,
So-
can I point out that he has?
Go ahead.
He has very large feet. I noticed. He has very large.
And you
feet.
know what they say about vampires with large
Just
feet?
wanted to point it out. Yes.
They have big fangs. Yeah, because they don't use their steak, if you know what I mean. They just want the
Oh,
blood.
you don't know this.
I went there.
You don't know that. You don't know this.
So, okay. He jumps back up on the table because that's what Van Helsing likes to do, man. It's a party. Grabs a couple of candlesticks, and it's karaoke time. Makes a cross. They're using the red bloodshot eye drops again. And this
It's
is
a
the
big
scene from our
cross.
opening credit where Dracula mistakenly realizes or doesn't realize there's a sunbeam there. And he puts his hand down in it. And his hand disintegrates. By the way, the soundtrack for this is awesome. It's really, really, really good, creepy, scary music, and it really enhances the experience of watching this film, especially the songs that's playing here for the big climactic scene here. He puts his hand down on the floor, sunbeam right there. Hand shrivels up like a prune. That's gotta hurt. That's a cat who wanted to pull that curtain down, but he didn't get the chance. That's what he looks like. He looks like a cat yawning. Sorry. Great acting by Lee here, who is like, I guess I can't use my hand anymore. So he's just kind of wavering around.
Just put a flesh wound.
And he's pushing him back into the light. I believe. And so his face starts to burn up from being in the light, and he puts his little hand because he can't use the other hand, otherwise he'll just fall over. He has to put the little gimpy hand over his face then.
No.
Ow.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yes.
Now, I had also read that Christopher Lee somehow got the original Dracula ring that Lugosi wore. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's fake news or but I had read that somewhere. He had the original Dracula ring.
It's probably true.
So this is Roy Ashton's makeup. Like to use Fuller Earth for his stuff like this. Dracula disintegrating. And the ring is left in the dust when the wind blows. As Peter Cushing goes, "Oh, that's nasty." It's terribly nasty. Oh, didn't realize that was going to happen. And speaking of rings, Mina's hand, that black mark that was left on the hand, that is gone now. So that means the spell is over. She's released.
She can go into Christendom, right? She can go into
She can go back with the snarky, snipey Arthur now. If this thing ain't an allegory for why women probably cheat on their husbands, I don't know what. Oh, I love you so much. Let's go back home now. Oh, all right. Let me kiss that hand that doesn't have the black spot on it anymore. I'm going to be a butler to a man who dresses as a bat. Not this guy, but another guy that's a bat.
Much later.
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic? 50 years later, he's bats again. So yeah,
no bats.
Again, part of the wonderful set is the nice floor that they've made here. With and now here's the thing that I don't get. All right, I've seen the next movie, which is Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and they bring Dracula back by having an urn with all of his ashes in it, dumping it into a big crypt kind of thing, then pouring blood all over it, and then it becomes Dracula again. But the wind blows most of Dracula away here.
You only need a little speck.
Maybe I think the guy's name was Grote, who is his assistant, who brings him back in the next movie. See, it's blowing him all away. It's blowing him out the window. I'm guessing he swept up real good.
This is before they knew they had a hit on their hands.
They didn't have dustbusters back then, so I'm guessing he just swept up real good. Oh, here's some of him over in the corner. Up, some under the table.
Where's Gertha?
And that's it. That's horror of Dracula, which was this scene. If anything was more horrific for Dracula, it was this scene.
Bad ending.
Which everybody talked about for months after the fact, I bet.
Now,
that was pretty cool back in those days,
How many films did Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee make?
All right.
In this series.
Okay. So wow, which Christopher Lee was a lot. And Peter Cushing actually did a couple that didn't have Christopher Lee in them, like 7 Golden Vampires. He was in as Van Helsing. So there's the Horror of Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave,
wordy,
Scars of Dracula, I think it's the next one. The Satanic Rites of Dracula, names. Dracula 1974.
72.
72.
Dracula AD 72. Yep.
Yeah, AD 72. So that's like 6 right there. And again, Cushing was not in Prince of Darkness. It was somebody else. Risen from the Grave. It was somebody else. And I don't know why they should have had him in those. Scars of Dracula was somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think he came back again until 72 AD, right?
I don't. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a bride
descendant? He plays the descendant of Van Helsing. I mean, he plays Van Helsing in the beginning too, and they have a flashback where he kills Dracula with a wagon wheel.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Is there a cowboy in this one?
There must have been a cowboy in that one.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, I've got that. I'm hankering for a hunk of cheese at the cartoon back in the 70s. It's a wagon wheel, and it kills vampires.
Well, Christopher Lee, he also did a Dracula movie that wasn't a Hammer. It was like a French-German cooperation.
Yeah. True enough. I think Herbert Lom was in a Dracula film with him as Van Helsing, wasn't he?
Well, it's that one.
Is it that one where he has the mustache?
Yeah.
And there was another French film or Italian film that he did as Dracula too, like The Son of Dracula or something, where he plays Dracula.
Yeah.
So he did a lot of them. But what's funny was he wouldn't do The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, which was a Kung Fu Dracula movie. But they got Peter Cushing.
He's like, that's just too silly.
They hired some other actor to play Dracula in that.
I do like that Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee were friends. They were like best friends their whole life.
Yeah, the closest of friends. Yeah.
That's really lovely because they lived a long time, both of them, right?
They both did, yes.
Yeah.
There's lots of pictures of them together, having fun together, doing different things. Yeah, they were the best of friends. They really were.
You know, when
not so much.
Yeah,
he was on the outside.
When Star Wars first came out, and I saw Peter Cushing in there, I thought, you know, if the next movie don't got Christopher Lee, I'm going to stop watching. But you know, eventually he made it. He made it.
Yeah, I made it in as Dooku.
Yeah,
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku.
Wait a minute, Count Dracula, Count Dooku. Wait a minute.
Close enough. Yeah.
But he's still, you know, what
he's got a cape on.
Yeah. But he was what, in his 80s, 90s or something? Man, he's still jumping
80s,
around kicking butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, also in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Saruman.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, you gotta love his staying power. He was in the business for so long. You know, and the wildest story I've heard about his life is that, you know, when they did Man with the Golden Gun and he played Scaramanga, it came out that he was actually the cousin of Ian Fleming, and he was kind of what Ian Fleming envisioned as Bond when he first started writing the books. He was supposed to look like Hoagie Carmichael, but really a lot of Christopher Lee went into James Bond's character in those books, evidently. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Barbie Van Helsing, for joining us for another episode of Vampire Fun here on the Big Monster Briefing Room. Thank you, Havoc. Thank you, Hazzard, for making this thing all run smoothly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I always love when Bobby's here. Bobby always classes it up. You know, she's so gorgeous and glamorous. So I just love it. Thank you for being here.
And thank you for putting the doctor before my name.
Of course, you know, you deserve it. You know, you earned it. You earned it. You deserve it.
Everybody should check out the University of Phoenix online program.
And we love the pink hair. Loving that. I hope your new beau is not really a vampire who's sucking your blood. But we'll see.
Okay.
Keep checking.
Yes, exactly.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? Can we back up a couple of slides in the thing there? I almost forgot to say the famous line. There we go. Well, now that's a face that only a mother can love.
You got it in just under the wire, and I think I should
have done it with when the stake the girl and she became the old lady. That's what I should have said there. Anyway, but I got it in. All right, everybody, keep an eye out for those vampires and big monsters.